Yeah, well, that was my idea, but I couldn't pull it off.
Wow, 6 decades.
Wow.
In looking back over those decades, the one thing I kept seeing were the connections with people. It is the people in your life that matter. They make your life rich and joyous, meaningful and complete. In the first decade, the little girl growing up in Epping, the people that were important then were my immediate family. My mum, my dad, my sister, my lovely puppy Ricky. It was then that the family bonds first formed and got stronger in the decades to come. There were some playmates I climbed a tree or two with, but in the first decade, it was the immediate family that came to the fore. Second decade, moving through my teens, the family recedes a little, now filled by girlfriends and boyfriends, some of whom are here tonight. All the girlfriends, anyway. My treasured friends from Cheltenham Girls High, who I have known for nearly 50 years.
Wow. Yeah, yes.
Woo! Peggy? We had dinner together last night, and it felt as comfortable as if we had seen each other every week since high school, a sign of some seriously good friends. The third decade, in my 20s, girlfriends remained, the boyfriends came and went. Some were serious, some were not, and in this decade I got to create my own immediate family. I had gone to UNSW for a lame reason. I followed my boyfriend of the moment, Roger. He went. But I owe him a lot because it was at UNSW that I met the illustrious Dr. Jack Gray.
Oh! Wow!
Who I brought home to meet my family. He was my university lecturer, divorced, had 2 children, a Jewish radical left-winger. He was 13 years older than me. My family from Epping didn't quite know how to deal with Jack. They dealt with him, and they have been dealing with him for 40 years. But more of Jack later. So in my 20s, I now had Jack in my life. But as well as Jack, I also had Ben and Mark, his 2 lovely carrot-top little boys, who I helped bring up, from ages 6 and 3 to 46 and 43.
Still raising us. Yeah.
When I wrote the first draft of my speech, I had tears in my eyes from the sadness of them not being here to celebrate my 60th.
Wow.
Just for not being here. I miss them so much. The tyranny of distance really does suck. It is all about the people in the moment. A massive possible heart attack inducing surprise last Wednesday when I opened the back gate to the cacophonous screams of surprise. They were all there. Ben and Lydia with Veronica and Alice, Mark and Victoria with baby Adelina, Jess with Zachary and little Elizabeth, and Sam and Jack grinning from ear to ear. Cass and Priya were at work. Someone had to go. The best ever present. I am so hugely glad you are all here tonight. Thank you for making the schlep from Canuck and Proudman. Ben and Mark, thank you for letting me into your lives in that third decade. And for being such a force in mine in the decades to come. The third decade saw the birth of my babies, Jessica and Samuel. Wow,
Yes.
my third decade. It is hard not to sound trite or be too emotional or say over-the-top things about my Jess and my Sam. But they are my joy, my support, my inspiration, my laughs, my cries. They just fill up my life to the maximum and give me the abundance of happiness and good times. It's really hard to read.
Yeah, more life, you're okay?
Life without my children would be unimaginable. I miss them. Life without them would be unimaginable. I miss them when I don't hear from them for a day. I miss them when I go overseas. I love being part of their lives so much. Thanks for having me in your life. You are what makes me the proudest. I love you, all my children. The connections in the 4th and the 5th decade. My 30s and 40s revolved around husbands and children and friends. I juggled all parts of my life, something everyone here can identify with. Friends came and went just like those boyfriends. Life was busy in those decades. Often it was a roller coaster ride. The 6th decade, in most of my recent times of my 50s, I became an accountant. Yay! As someone said to me, "Wow, Deborah, you can go and paint the town beige." My fellow accountant who is here tonight would not agree. We are Technicolor accountants. He led me to work at the Asylum Seekers Centre, a place I am so proud of. It is a place which wraps up sad and broken people until they can go out and rebuild their lives. I think how lucky I was that I was born in the right part of the world, in the right time, and in the right home. I had opportunities laid out for me which these people do not have. Thanks to all of you who have donated tonight or who will donate. We need every cent to continue to wrap them gently and give them some hope. Other additions in the last decade, apart from an accounting degree, were the grandchildren. Veronica, Alice, Zachary, Elizabeth and Adelina. Note the full proper names, as my mother gets very cranky when I abbreviate their beautiful names. I've got to know the littlies who don't live here a bit more on this trip, which has brought such joy to me. And Zach and Lizzie just bring such a big, glowing smile to my face every day. I miss them when I don't see them for a bit, and I still melt when I hear, "Nama, where are you?" That is me. I am their Nama, and I love it. And through these later decades, the immediate family come to the fore again, as you realise you are getting a little older, and how lovely to share a less hurried time in my life with my mum and my sister now. Not my dear dad, sadly, who died such a long time ago. It is all about the people. It is all about the friends. Some who I've known for 40 odd years and some for only a few years. I look about me and I see such a great lot of friends. Thanks for coming tonight. Some who couldn't be here. The very special Chris and Brian, who I have known almost all my life, had to be at their daughter's engagement party. My very fine friends. My very fine friends, Steve and Judy. Steve has just got himself a new hip.
A lingerer.
Yeah. Last night he could have walked. And the lovely Cheryl, who would have flown from Boston to her second home for the party if we hadn't been flying there on Tuesday. My 60th celebrations, now called by the kids the Festival of Deb, continues next week on another continent. And of course, my best friend Jack, who has given me a rich and full life. One that is never boring, one that is always filled with high-end emotion, tears and laughs and good times, because we are good together. I am proud that we have grown and loved together for nearly 40 years. It is not always easy to do that in these modern times, but we've done it. Jack is my rock, my strength and my love. and I'm glad he made it through that first dinner in Epping. Thank you, Jack and Jess and Sam, for organising this party and for keeping the surprise visit such a surprise. And thanks everyone for helping me celebrate my 60th. The best part of the number 60 was that it had a 0 at the end of it, and that meant, under the law of Deborah, I had to have a party to celebrate the birthday. So let's party.
Right, move. Yes,
Oh yeah, we got more. Yeah.
Got Sam.
Normally the youngest gets what they want, and I didn't want to go next because I knew I was going to have to follow this. And I knew that Dad would deliver a pretty good speech. It would probably be lengthy, and then I found out that Mark was had quite a lengthy speech, so I've taken the opportunity to hopefully be short and sweet. So basically what I've got down here is, I thought, where do you start when you're writing a speech for your mum who's just turned 60? So two things kind of jumped out at me, and the first one was sort of the difficult issue, which is 60 years is a fucking long time.
wonderfully put.
Just to remind everyone, since 1956, the Australian population has grown by 12 million people.
Is that because of you, Tim?
And the Roosters have been in 11 They've been in 11 grand finals and won 6. That is greater than 50%.
That is full strike rate. And this year,
Did you hear that, Michael?
tell me about this year.
We'll talk about that later. But the second thing that I thought it came a little bit easier to me, and I guess without sounding arrogant or opinionated, for those in the crowd, hold your prejudice, but I've known Mum my entire life. And so I think I'm in a pretty good position to comment. So this is what I've got. Deborah Shirley Gray. She is dynamic, smart, stubborn, sometimes radioactive, beautiful, and I've got in my notes, look how good she looks at 60. And my favourite is supportive. So I'm going to dwell on the first and the last of those two attributes, which is dynamic and supportive. And I think, in my opinion, I've picked the best of a good bunch. Mum's support is dynamic. It's so active and not passive. And so what I mean is that she gets involved in your life and your life's issues, and that's the thing that really resonates with me, is that, your support is unbelievably active. You don't just sit back, you are there and involved in it. And so that's the thing that really resonates with me, and it's not until you reflect on that's my speech, that's what I get from you, and that's what I'm talking about tonight. So that's what I wanted to say. So I guess, to keep it short, if you take my word from it, she's been doing this for 32 years, and I think probably more like 40. And to me, that's really, really impressive. So happy birthday, Mum, and happy 60.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Jessica.
Come on, Jess.
Right there. I feel you, girl.
I've been told I have a piss weak voice. So, not tonight, folks. My mum, I remember her 30th birthday.
Wow.
I was, or some of you were probably there actually. I was almost 6 years old, and I remember sitting on the steps at Paddington, looking down and watching all the adults. Mum had this hectic black and gold number on, 80s, haircut, massive earrings. My my glamour mama. So it's a great memory to have. I don't think many kids today get to remember their mum's 30th. You know, we're born when all parents are older now. And now here we are again, celebrating now 30 years on her 60th birthday.
Still looking good.
Still,
Yeah.
absolutely. I've always had the youngest mum of my friends, and today is no different. Apparently 60 is the new 40.
Yeah, absolutely.
And look at what 60 looks like. Great. You look incredible. Amazing dress, awesome hair, so pretty. I had, just not to toot my own horn too much, I was at a school excursion once when I was in primary school, and someone came up to me and asked me if I was Deborah Gray's daughter. I've always felt so proud and privileged to look like you. I'm so impressed by you, not just how you look. You've created such a wonderful family of people who I adore so much, all of whom get to be here tonight thanks to my lovely dad. You have committed yourself to this lovely man for 37 amazing, wonderful, difficult, challenging and loving years. You have always strived to give us kids the best of what this world can offer, even sometimes at the expense of your own needs. But you've also shown us how you can meet your needs. I think it's a great model to have. You have retrained and joined this profession and smashed every challenge that has come your way in this. You've committed to changing and taking charge of your body and your health and your pain in the last few months like I've never seen you do before, and I'm very proud of you for doing that. And tonight you're on top of it all. Well done, Mama. Love you to the moon and back. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Oh my God. She's
The
filming.
Austrian's going to do it.
I will take that.
That was beautiful.
Come on, Rangus.
I know, Ranga's turn.
The Austrian handler.
I think she is.
I think I have a bit of experience with a camera.
Well, I have known Deborah Gray almost my whole life. And you can't say that about many people. And there is a spectrum of knowing someone, all the way from the superficial to really knowing who they are. And I think that I am fortunate enough to be able to say, and overjoyed to say, that I know Deborah Gray. And to know Deborah Gray is to love Deborah Gray. It doesn't have to take a lifetime. I'm sure there are people in this room that have not known Deborah Gray as long who also say that they know her, because Deb has allowed herself to be known, and she has shared herself, who she is, and I think all of those people would also say to know her is to love her. But who is she? Who is this Deborah Gray? Who is this sexagenarian? Which is a shocking term. It's not given any dignity. It sounds like an Eastern Bloc communist era sex toy. To me. Who is she? Well, if I were to put it in this way, that if I were making a movie and I were the director and Deborah Gray was one of the characters in that movie, it would take my best actress to play her. Why? Two factors. One, her incredible, overwhelming inner life. And two, she's a woman of beautiful contradictions. Now, I could describe those contradictions to you. I could explain them. But I think it's better instead to take you on a tour, on a little journey through 3 real-world, real-time experiences that would illuminate those contradictions. So they have 3 headings. You're up for it? Good. 3 headings. First one, works hard, plays hard. That's the first one. So as has been mentioned, Deb recently became an accountant, and I've always been amazed by Deb's work ethic. It has always been a source of great inspiration and annoyance to me. Remember when we were kids growing up, 5 or 6 times a week we're moving furniture around the house to meet Deb's needs. I don't know if you've ever seen an 8-year-old push an oak wardrobe up the flight of stairs. You know, it's not pretty. So her work ethic, really, her work ethic is amazing. So let's set the scene. A few years ago, Victoria and I are visiting. Deb had just become an accountant, which in itself is a feat of work ethic to do that. She has set herself up at the circular table at the dining room, and it's about 10 o'clock, we're heading to bed. She's got the dressing gown, it's well pressed, the hair is coiffed, the table is covered in paper. There's spreadsheets, there's letters, there's scrolls with threats on them, I don't know, mostly issued, not received. There's a cup of steaming Makona, that disgusting liquid which she imbibed. The cat is stretched out in front of the fireplace, the belly exposed. He's kind of moral support for Deb, and he's in bliss. So we go upstairs, we go to bed. Next morning, about 8 o'clock, we've got an excursion. We come downstairs. Now, I don't know what happened during the night. I don't know if she went to bed or not. All I know is she's still there. Bit smellier, hair not quite done as well. The circular table has become an oval. She has put extensions into the table, so there's more. You can't see any wood. It's still covered with paper. Makona's still there. The cat now is slightly singed on the belly. We go out, and this is true. We get back at 5 o'clock. She's still 5 o'clock shadow now. There's yellow stains under the armpits. It's just exposed, sizzling meat now. And she's still going. So her work ethic is amazing, and it always has been. But she plays hard too. I don't know if any of you have had the pleasure of playing Pictionary. There is no greater emotional roller coaster of psychosis on planet Earth than this. I equate it really, well, when I play Pictionary, I seek Deb out. 2 reasons. One, she's very good at the game. But second, I really just want to be on the end of that inner life. I equate it really to climbing down into a cage to face a great white. I mean, she's right there. She's in your face. And the thing is, so, I don't know if you know the game. Let's say she's drawing the picture. I have to guess it. There's a time limit. Now, she's not allowed to talk. She can't tell it, and that's hard for them. And so she's every facial muscle. She's in your face. She's ginnying you. Come on, come on. Now, if you get it right, I mean, the paroxysms of joy, the emotional life, the hugs, the high tens. If you get it wrong, the rage and vitriol. It's a fucking cigarette. How can you not see it's a cigarette? I mean, it's incredible. So that's amazing. She works hard, plays hard. Next one, left brain, right brain. Deb has always had a great head for numbers. She's got a great sense of reason and logic, a great planner. Started out teaching mathematics, became an actuary, whatever the hell that is. I thought it had something to do with bird enclosures, but she told me that's not true. Then she became an accountant, and that's always impressed me. Just her connection to her left brain is amazing, but she's also, in all seriousness, incredibly creative. I consider myself a creative person, but she has always inspired me. As long as I've known her, Deb has been involved in something creative, always doing something, and there's no greater example of that than this house. If Dad had had his way, we would be living like Thoreau in a hut by a lake, some soup on the stove, you know. But Deb has always created these amazing homes, and this home, really, Victoria and I, we always call it our dream home in Sydney. It's so beautiful. And her creativity has always been an inspiration to me. And finally, right side, wrong side. So, as you may know, and you've seen it tonight, Deb is from the right side of the tracks. I mean, good host. She's always done up. The hairstyle. She's turned 60. That's about as many hairstyles as Deb's had in her life. It's just been constant evolution. She's professional in her professional life. Also brilliant on Dad's arm. Great humour, poise, articulate. Sometimes, though, the wrong side of the track sneaks out. Take you back. Let's go back. Our first visit. First time Victoria has met this crazy family of ours. Deb had gone up to Bondi Junction for some shopping. Clearly, something had happened up there. It was busy or something. We're sitting here. We hear the door open, and the immortal line uttered, "Fucking cunt's still up at the jungle." Fucking cunt's still up at the jungle. And I remember having the thought, I think this is the first time Homo sapiens has ever put fucking Huntsville and jungle in the same sentence. I mean, it was incredible. But that just adds to her mystique. So, to go back to our actress, what qualities would she need to have? Well, I would say she'd need to be able to feel deeply, to be fiercely intelligent, to be amazingly playful and caring, and to have the heart of a lion. Deb, to know you is to love you. I love you. Happy 60th.
Yeah, thanks.
Let's hug it out now. Hug it out.
Yeah, you're better.
Could be
Take your phone out, babe.
I'm doing it on the phone.
Nice. Nice.
Like stand up here? Yeah. All right. So I apologise in advance for those of you who might not get some of these words, kind of gags, some non sequiturs that I'm going to share. I'm going to share with you 60 things that I love about Deb. Her scones.
Scones. Yes.
Her reverse parking skills.
Okay,
The
yeah.
world's greatest parker. Her CWA cake.
Yes.
Her radioactivity.
Yeah.
Oh.
Totally.
Her ability to ruin a good joke. Her generosity. Her reaction to bananas.
Yes. She's doing it. She's doing it right now.
Her fix-it mentality. Her ability to drink 14 coffees in a day and still have a good night's sleep. Her cuddles with her grandkids. Her ability to massacre the English language. Her pea and hoop soup.
Pea and hoop soup.
Loving my dad for nearly 40 years. Her commitment to helping those in need, as in her work at the Asylum Seekers Centre. Her quilting.
Yeah.
Her apricot chicken. Not.
Thank you. Thank you.
Her apricot chicken. Her appreciation for her own hair. Shit, your hair looks good, Deb. Her welcoming smile. Her perseverance. Did I mention your scones? I could only come up with 20. Deb, I love you.
Great finish. Good finish. I like it. That's awesome. Yeah, look at this.
I was nobbled, I've got to tell you, by my children. They got together and said that whatever speech you make, it's not allowed to be...
Hey, it was only the gingers.
Yeah,
it was only me.
Okay.
This is Ben.
Ben was the main.
It's not allowed to be pretentious. What? Pretentious. It's not allowed to be flowery. It's not allowed to be broad-based. It's not allowed to discuss the implications of Minoan architecture and the effect of my relationship with Deborah or Gödel's theorem. Or, not allowed to do that. It's got to be essentially bland and direct, and most importantly, it's got to be about Deborah and not about me or anything else. So
It's outrageous.
all that, the other restriction,
So far, so good.
and the other restriction was no polysyllabic words. And a few of you who know, like Peter, will recognise the inherent contradiction in that I've already used a polysyllabic word. So,
Wow.
see?
Yeah, wow. Tough crowd. Yeah.
And you've also talked about yourself.
So there is a painting by Frederick McCubbin of it's called a series of paintings called Pioneer. Beautiful paintings in the Victorian period from 1890 of settlers. And there's one in particular, a triptych, that in the middle of the centre piece of the triptych is of a settler who's clearly at the end of his tether. He's sitting down, his head's down like that, he's a hell of a day. He's been pulling out tree stumps and God knows what else, and he's totally and utterly exhausted. And there, standing in the centre of the picture, is his wife, Deborah.
Oh.
She is standing there, baby in arms. She's had a shit of a day too, no doubt, doing the things that women have to do in those circumstances. Between Deborah and I, the feeling, the sense of that mood, that picture, and I've told her many times that she is the settler's wife. I see him as depressed, and Deborah sees him as just physically exhausted. There's an interesting difference in the way we see the world in that. But she is the centre of the picture, and she's the centre of this family. She is the core of this family. She is the emotional and psychological centre. She is the go-to person. When there's trouble, people go to Deborah. And she's got this remarkable ability to solve people's problems. She does that at the Asylum Seekers Centre. I know that. It is truly remarkable. And all the things you've heard are exactly what I feel about Deborah and why I love her and why we have been together for so long through some very difficult times. She has always found a way through, in spite of the pains and the agony she's had, migraines and backaches and God knows what else, and she continues to push through them and get to the other side the way the settler's wife would have. So yes, all the breadth of artistry, of wall hangings. She once actually did a history course. This was totally foreign, I think, to Deborah. She'd been in the scientific side, never thought she could write, never thought she could think of the humanities, and did a history course and did it terrifically. About the Anabaptists, remember? Mm-hmm. And then succeeded also, in spite of me and the pains and the agonies, succeeded wonderfully as an actuary by failing it. The best way to be an actuary is not to be an actuary. It is something you don't want to do, and Deborah had the sense to get it. She has, for me, always been there and always been a wonderful support. She's my tall, green-eyed shiksa. Green-eyed shiksa, who I love dearly and I could not imagine living without. The centre of everything. I was going to end with a long romantic poem, like the Metaphysicals wrote, John Donne and Shakespeare, and I thought, no, that's too pretentious. So instead I wrote a limerick. I thought that was more appropriate.
Absolutely.
So, a tall, hot goy from Epping moved east through forceful schlepping. She is loaded with oil, an unusual thing for a goy. But yet her roots she is not forgetting. That's it.